Hey guys, happy Friday. I'm Kirsten from Words and Whimsy, and if you're watching the replay, thank you. I would love it if you'd leave a comment and let me know that you're watching the replay so I can say hello to you. Today I'm just prepping for a market that I'm going to be doing tomorrow, and I thought that I would hang out with you guys while I do that and just kind of share some little nuggets of wisdom from past markets. Hey Claudia, thanks so much for hopping on. Thank you. So my office is kind of a train wreck right now because I am in market prep mode. I have been doing in-person markets since like September of last year, but those were all under the Sweet Tea Oils brand name. So if you're not an OG follower, before Words and Whimsy, my brand was Sweet Tea Oils, and I sold essential oil jewelry, primarily bracelets. And I did a ton of markets doing that, and I learned a lot because I screwed up a lot. And I feel like that's the best way to learn, right? Is to do it badly and figure out what made it so bad and then get better. So tomorrow I'm doing a market, and it will be my first market as Words and Whimsy. And so I've been preparing a lot for the last week or so to just make sure I have all my T's crossed and I's dotted and everything's ready to go. And yeah, so I'm working on that today, and I just thought I would hang out with you guys while I do that and share some fun stuff. Hey girl, how are you? So I'm in full market prep mode, and that's why my office looks like a mess, and there's Lazy Daisy down there doing what Lazy Daisy does. So I am, hey guys, thank you so much for joining. I would love it if you would say hi when you pop in. So I'm going to flip my camera around. It's a weird light on my face. I'm going to flip the camera around and just kind of show you the disaster that is my office, because I have an in-person market tomorrow and I'm getting ready for all of that. So just want to show you what's going on. So it's a mess. So my shelves are empty because all the shirts are getting boxed up. And there's Daisy. She's always like a superstar on my Instagram. Daisy May, say hi. She's my little helper. So everything's just kind of a mess right now. So I have all my shirts, and then I have some stuff already boxed up. I'm actually going to repackage all of that because yesterday I boxed it up and took it downstairs to my basement so that I could do a full setup of what I want my market layout to look like. So I'm going to have a 10 by 10 space, and it's indoor, thank the Lord, because it's freaking cold outside. But I'll have an indoor space, 10 by 10. So I did my full table setup and put out product and everything and tweaked it and played with it and made it look like how I want it to look. And once I was satisfied with that, I took pictures of it and packaged it all up and brought it back upstairs. So that's one of the things that I learned just from doing markets last year in the fall was like over prepare. And I always prepare for a slightly smaller space than 10 by 10 or whatever they give me, because you want to have room for people to walk around without bumping right into the next craft booth if you're right next to somebody. This event tomorrow is at Oconee Brewing Company here in Greensboro, and they do these sip and shops. They're starting to do them more regularly, which is awesome. And it is a socially distanced event, so we will have space between each booth, which is really nice. So I know that I can plan to use my full 10 by 10 space. I do have to wear a mask the whole time I'm there, which makes it really hard to talk to customers because it's loud and you're having to shout and people can't read your lips. And I remember that was really frustrating when I did one of these last year around December. It's just extra hard to communicate. So because of that, I'm trying to just make doubly sure that my booth is laid out well and that my prices are clear and all of my signage is clear and people don't have to constantly go, how much is this? Or what do you do with this? Or whatever. Like, I want to make sure everything is laid out so that people can see what's going on really easily. So that's one of the things that I've learned over the last several months of doing markets, is to just be overly prepared. Hey guys, thanks so much for joining. We're talking about craft markets. I'm doing a market tomorrow at Oconee Brewing Company here in Greensboro, and I'm just preparing. And so I've learned to just be overly prepared when doing these markets, and especially with all the COVID stuff and people wearing masks. It is a lot harder to communicate verbally with people, especially when there's a whole bunch of people in a room. And the way that the event space is in this particular event that I'm doing, it's a big, open, huge, tall ceiling thing. So everything just kind of echoes. And so it makes it extra loud. Hey, Isabella, good to see you, honey. So, because I'm going to be masked behind my booth, and because it's an extra loud event space, I am going above and beyond to make sure that I communicate to my customers in a different way. So the way that I'm doing that is through signs. I have a banner that I hope I can pick up today. That's a whole different issue. My local printer is having some issues getting the colors right on my 3x6 banner that says Words in Whimsy. I went to pick it up the other day, and it looked like they printed it and then put it out in the sun for like 2 weeks. And it looked like instead of the pink that's in all of my stuff, it was like a buttery yellow background. And then all of these colors were just really, really muted. And I was like, yeah, that's not going to work for me. So he's trying to tweak the colors and make it print bolder and brighter. So I'm hoping that will be done. If not, it's okay, because I have signs for other things. Pinners Conference, what's up? Hey guys, I'm talking about doing markets, which is awesome that you guys joined, because I'm doing Pinners in April here in Atlanta. And so a lot of the stuff that I'm talking about, I'll be doing at Pinners. So that's really exciting. So I know that, COVID restrictions make it extra hard to communicate with our customers. And so I'm trying to just go above and beyond to have ample signage for my pricing, for my products. And I'm also making a sign that has a QR code on it. I think I have a rough draft I can show you, but I want people to sign up for my email list, So also, because of COVID, everything's kind of like hands off, don't touch. So this is not the finished page, but I'm making something like this that has a QR code on it, and it says free money, and it basically gets people's attention. And so what I'm doing with this is I'll have an acrylic sign stand that I can put this in on my table, and I'll have a couple of these because I really want to push my email list. So this is something you can do if you're working a market, regardless of the size of the market, whether it's huge and 10,000 people like Pinners Conference, or if it's a smaller event like the one I'm doing tomorrow. This is still a great way to get people on your list. So I have a QR code, and it's going to link to a landing page that I made specifically for this event. Okay. And I'm doing this at Pinners too. I'll have a landing page specifically for the event I'm working tomorrow, and they'll go to this link and they'll sign up for my email list, and everybody who signs up through that link is going to be entered in to win a shop credit. So I'm doing $25 tomorrow. I'm probably going to do a bigger one for Pinners, and I might even do 2. Hey girl, Redemptive Living, what's up? So everybody who enters is going to also get a discount code. But I'll draw one name from my market tomorrow from all the subscribers, and they will get entered to win a shop credit. So it's a great way to get local people in the market on your email list so you can continue marketing to them. And for me locally, so for one thing that I'm doing, I have an exclusive design that I made for the market tomorrow. And I've got shirts everywhere, so I'm going to try to get to it. But okay. So it just gives me a growing list of people who live in my local area, and I can market to them a little bit differently. So for example, I made a Lake Oconee design for shirts that I'll have tomorrow. This isn't something that most people in my store would want, but it's something that the people who live on Lake Oconee definitely would want. So this is something that I can market to those local people. I can go, hey, I have a new Lake Oconee design, or when it gets closer to football season, I might do like Georgia Bulldogs or whatever. And that's something that my local email subscribers would be way more interested in than just like the broad general public who comes to my shop and who are on my email list. So I am going to work really hard to grow that email list full of local people too. And doing the QR code with a giveaway is a great way to do that because people like free money. They like free stuff. So that's one of the things that I'm doing. I'll also have very clear signage for my prices. The last thing that you want when you do a market is to have to stop every 2 seconds and answer the question, how much is this? You want people to be able to see your prices very clearly. I know for me personally, I don't like to price a lot of items like on the back of the item unless that's the only way I can price them. Because a lot of the stuff that I sell online, and I don't want to send it to you with a price tag on it. I just think it's a little tacky. But for my in-person events, I have found some ways to kind of work around that. And I've packed up a lot of stuff already, but I'm going to try to show you one of the things that I'm doing, or a couple ways that I'm pricing things, just to kind of give you an idea. So one of the things that I'll have on my table is this box of stickers that you can put on your tumblers. You guys have seen these on my website. They look like this. So I'm going to have a piece of cardstock that has the price on it, and I'm going to clip it to the front. Hey, Roxana. So I'll have a price that I can clip onto the front of this so people will just know how much these are without having to ask me. And that also saves me from having to put a price sticker on every single one of these because that's just no fun. Thank you very much. Also, I have to show you guys my cute tags. So these are for the like how to wash the shirts. Look how cute those turned out. And it has Words and Whimsy on the back. So again, I didn't want to price my sweatshirts and shirts on the tag. I just don't like the way that that looks. But I'll have plenty of signage up that tells people how much shirts are, and it'll be short sleeve, long sleeve, crew neck, and hoodie. Another thing that I have done, there are a few things that I have priced. Y'all are seeing like the ugly, dark insides of all the mess. So I'm trying to get to some stuff so I can show you another way that I'm pricing things. So my jewelry, I'm going to have a sign hung right next to my bracelets that tell people how much the bracelets are. And then I do have prices on my earrings and necklaces. But if you'll see there, I have washi tape on the back of the card. And then I put the price on the washi tape. And the reason I did that is because I can easily peel that washi tape off without messing up the card. And the price sticker will come off with it. So it works for a temporary pricing at a market. But once I get these items home, I can just take that washi tape off. And it's a nice clean card. So when you guys buy it online and I package it up, it's a nice clean card and it doesn't have stickers all over it. I did the same thing on my necklaces. So I have the washi tape on the back with the price on it and the necklace on the front. So this is what you guys would get if you ordered online, minus this little strip of washi tape with the price on it. So it's just an easy way for me to help people understand how much things cost without making it look messy. And that was probably one of the biggest lessons learned from doing markets last year, because my mom's watching live and she's my helper at all of these markets. And I mean, constantly we would get asked, how much is this? How much is this? How much is this? And it's a pain in the butt to answer that. But last year when I had all those bracelets, the last thing I wanted to do was to tag every single bracelet. I had hundreds of bracelets at a market and I didn't want to tag each one. So it was just a pain in the butt, and they were different prices. Most of them were similarly priced, but some of them were different prices. And so it was just a royal pain in the butt. And so I have learned ways to make pricing easier. And that's just one extra way that I can easily communicate to people at these markets. And so, you know, I'm learning, but I'm getting better. And the bottom line is you want to make it as easy for your customer to give you money as possible. So the communication part is huge for that. They need to know how much stuff costs, and they need to see that very clearly so they can pay you. And in addition to the payment part, that's another thing that you need to make very easy. That's one of my big pet peeves. We live in a really small town here in Greensboro, and we've had contractors come out to the house to do various things. And it drives me crazy when they're like, I'll email you your invoice. I'm like, okay, that's great. They'll email me like a PDF, and there's no instructions on how to pay it. There's no link to pay it in the email. And I'm like, you should make it ridiculously easy for me to give you money. And so I take that same mindset when I do my markets, and I want to make it ridiculously easy for people to give me their money. So I have a PayPal card reader that I purchased, and the PayPal app, I have a PayPal Here app. And so this card reader, I can swipe and I can read the chips through using this. You don't have to have a PayPal account to pay me, but this just helps me. I can run credit cards this way. And I also just signed up for Venmo for Business, which is a new thing. Just a quick little tip. If you're a small business owner, please don't use your personal PayPal or your personal Venmo for business payments. That's a big no-no. It's a violation of their terms and conditions. You need to be tracking those and making sure you're doing it the right way. So I have a Venmo for Business account. And I remember at the last Sip and Shop I did in December, I had a lot of customers who wanted to pay by Venmo. And I allowed it even before they had Venmo for Business because I didn't want to miss out on a sale. But now that they have Venmo for Business, it makes it easier for me and easier for my customer. So I can literally just pull up the QR code for Venmo on my phone, and they can scan it with their phone and pay me. And so it's super easy. And I also take cash. So I'm making it very, very easy for people to know how much my stuff costs, see all of my product laid out, and pay me. And all of that is super helpful, especially right now when we all have to wear masks and stay 6 feet apart, and you're in a loud event space and having to yell at everybody. And yeah, so those are just some of the things that I've learned doing these markets. So anyway, I'm going to be packing up all my crap today to get ready. I have to be at the event space at 10 a.m. to set up, and then the event's from 12 to 4 tomorrow. So if you are in the Greensboro area, I would love it if you would stop by Oconee Brewing Company tomorrow for the Sip and Shop and come visit. And if you have never done an event and you want more information, you are more than welcome to DM me and pick my brain. If you have questions about email, I'm kind of a nerd about that stuff. You can ask Roxana, my friend who's on here. She's been around for the long haul with me. I nerd out on WordPress and SEO and Google Analytics and email marketing and all of those things. So if you have questions about any of that, feel free to DM me and I'll nerd out with you. But I'm going to go. I'm going to get ready for my market. I've got a lot of last minute odds and end things to do today to finish up getting ready. Hey, the Knack Shack, thanks for joining. Make sure you watch the replay because we had a really cool conversation about doing in-person markets. But thank you guys for joining me. It's been really fun, and I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you later. Bye.